Chris Banner here from Flagship Financial. Today's little lesson is going to be called Life Insurance 101. So generally out there on the street, we see three different types of policies. And most of the people that we're looking at helping right now are seniors looking for permanent coverage to cover funeral costs and burial expenses and so forth. So generally, what I'm going to talk about in this little short video here is what you want to look for and what you don't want to look for. So we run into when we're sitting with clients, a lot of times they'll pull out their policies and so forth, and we'll see they'll generally have one of these three, okay? The first type of coverage that I will talk about is called accidental death. Okay, accidental death and dismemberment means you have to actually pass away at the scene of an accident. So we'll run into a house and we'll see where, for $10 a month, they'll have a couple $100,000 worth of insurance. The numbers just don't line up. And the reason why is because, again, in these types of policies, generally you have to pass away at the scene of an accident, okay? So if you end up getting into an accident, just as an example, and you're on the way to the hospital in an ambulance and you happen to die of a heart attack or stroke in the actual ambulance, you technically didn't die from the accident itself, so that coverage will not pay out. Okay, so when we're talking about covering permanent expenses, funeral costs, and so forth, we know that usually this is not the best option for you, okay? Option number two that we run into, or that you'll see the words, it's called term insurance, okay? Term insurance is designed for generally younger people that are looking to replace income if one spouse was to pass away or to cover a large expense such as a mortgage or something along those lines. Because those large expenses are not a permanent sort of need, sometimes they may be, but generally they're not. Usually because we don't have a lease on life, we're not looking for a coverage for a 10, 15, or 20-year period. Those specific types of policies are specific for covering that type of need. But what we know about them is that they usually will only pay out about 1% of the time. Because what happens is usually people will drop them at the time that the coverage ends during that 15, 20, or 30-year or 10-year period of time. And it was designed specifically to cover something along those during that period of that time, right? Again, hence a mortgage or income replacement and so forth. When we're looking at covering a true final expense, which is generally funeral costs and so forth, we're looking at permanent options. And so one of the permanent options that we recommend to our customers all the time is what we call whole life, okay? What's nice about whole life is your benefits are guaranteed to pay out whenever you may pass away, whether it be the day after you get the policy or at age 100 or 100 plus years old, number one. So what people like about them is they're not going to have to worry about their coverage ending at some point. Regardless of how old or sick you get in the future, they could never take it away from you. The other good part about these types of policies is that the rates are locked in from the time that you get health approved for that type of plan, all right? Generally they're based upon your age, the amount of coverage, your gender, and your health, all right? So when we're looking at, how do we come up with an affordable solution that's going to be there most likely when your family's going to need it to, we look at a whole life insurance policy. And so another positive about these types of plans is that they build a cash value within inside of them. So that means, you could actually walk away from the policy and there's something that's of value that you can get back inside of these plans and so forth. But what we find is that this is the only guaranteed plan that will pay out its benefit until this thing stops, okay? And that's what we're looking for here is how do we come up with an affordable solution that's guaranteed to be there when your family's going to need it most. And when we're looking at covering final expense, especially for the senior population, ages 50 up, we go for a whole life insurance policy. So if you'd like to learn how easy it is to work with us to find the best carrier that's going to be able to partner your specific situation with the top carrier that's out there, go ahead and click the Learn More button below and let us show you how easy it is to work with us, okay? Chris Banner here, Flagship Financial, powered by American Senior Benefits. We look forward to seeing if we can help you out. Take care.